Warm greetings from sunny Cyprus. You think I've overdone growing basil this year? When you think there's multiples in one pot? And what I do with my basil is actually put it places where we sit, and that's the reason there's so much basil. And then also I put it in areas where our guests stay, so they have basil too. This isn't all my basil, there's more in the vertical growing area as well, so plenty of basil this year. I don't know why people say it's hard to grow basil, so I'm going to transplant some of these now. But I do love the smell of basil. More stuff transplanted outside. This area is most definitely growing of growings. Some of the basil transplanted, a lot are in other areas now, such as on the stone table, around patios. I've covered them all over as they're newly transplanted, even though they're quite big now. Most of this area is now basil. I've taken the tomatoes from here and transplanted those into bigger pots because I needed the smaller pots for the basil. Got a couple of lavender there for now. And then over here, this area's grown a bit more, as I say. Done some more tomatoes, upplanted, and then everything else that was on that table, such as the Malabar spinach, has now been put in a bigger pot, and the last couple of cucumbers. So as you can see, this row is a lot longer now. A lot more going on, and as I always say, this isn't everything. The Malabar spinach is here as well on this table. I don't really need a cover on it, but we've got a Coptic storm coming in a few days time, so this is a good idea using these bottle tops. I push them into the soil so they don't blow away and you have containers all over the place. did just have to rescue the bean because in one night the bean top had actually gone along and wrapped itself around this door handle in one night. So that shows you how quick it's growing from over there to here. An update on Mr. Bean. And he did grow, I think I mentioned last time, right over to this door handle, was twisting around this door handle. And that was in a very short time because we do use that door all the time. And I've just noticed we've got some little buds there, and I was pleased with that. Then I noticed at the top we've got even more here. There they are. And elsewhere I see some little ones coming as well. So lots of little buds. And yes, he's trying to go over there again to the door. There he is. Are you looking at Mr. Bean or are you looking at the sea view? Either is fine. So this is the very beginning of March. So he's doing extremely well. If only they all grew that well. I'm very reluctant to put him outside. I grew beans last year and they weren't as tall as this. They were probably half the size, and I planted them out. They all carried on growing, but they didn't grow as well. And they do say we can't really grow beans here because it's too hot. So we are just about coming up for a Coptic storm, hence you can see clouds in the sky. So I want to keep him in. Now we do have old curtain rails there. I was actually thinking about training it up to there and then let it grow, or along there over where my growing shelves are at the moment. I have just started planting a few more bits here. So I was thinking about doing that. I obviously won't be able to reach the beans end, but by the time the beans come, I will probably have got rid of, oh, owls have been splattering on my window, I just see. This will probably all be gone by then. So, what do you suggest? If that wasn't enough seeds, I've planted some more. I've done some Pomodoro tomatoes and some big round tomatoes. But of course, I also added throughout here. So all the latest seeds you saw me buy, they are now all planted. They are now all planted. There's so much going on, and as I say, this isn't all of what I've got growing. I've got a whole area just of bottles elsewhere, let alone other places. I've got lettuce growing and peppers in hugelkultur beds. I've planted out a lot of my cucumbers, and these are new ones that I've just planted. So a lot going on. Don't forget, if you wonder why I grow so much, I give some to friends and people I know, locals, and I trade with my food, and also this is my food to eat. And to get your bearings, this is where the bottle farm is. The bottle farm is here. And these are going really well. I've just transplanted the chard from here, and there was another one which I just looked and thought was chard, but it might be green spinach that's now been planted out. in the hugelkultur bed with the chard, but we'll see. So I've reseeded all the ones where I've planted out, and there were a couple that were a bit waterlogged, so I've just put more seeds in those. There's a lot here nearly ready to be planted out, so I will do that on another video because that will take time to go through every single one what's growing. We have Mr. Colin Waffles.